Hey, what's up everybody? Guinea Piggies Designs here, and today I am bringing you episode 13 of where I'm sewing items for my cage. But real quick, for those of you who are new, my name is Brittany. I basically just sew things for your small animals and I do other random things. But in today's video, I am just adding on to my series where I am sewing things for my guinea pig cage. So real quick, here is what I worked on today. Alright, so here is what I worked on in this video. So I started getting the hay bags ready to sew. I set up the Cuddle Cups. I sewed some of the Snuggle tunnels and most of the woodland flannel items that I'm making. So I worked on the hooded houses. I cut around the corner forests. So that's what I did in this video. And also really quick, if you guys are wondering where I got anything that I use in this video, go ahead and check down the description down below because I will have everything I used in this video linked down below as always. But if you guys do want to see how I started sewing any of the stuff I just showed you earlier, just go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, so for the first step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the hay bags. Now, I am making 2 hay bags, but what I like to do first is I like to fold the long edge about 1/2 inch in, and then I'll use my iron to press it down, and then I'll fold it over again about 1/2 inch, and then I'll press it down again, so that way in the end I'll end up with a folded rolled hem. And then I do like to clip it down just so it stays in place. And then I'm going to repeat this same process 3 more times because again I'm making 2 hay bags and I'm doing this to the front of the hay bag and the back of the hay bag. So repeating 3 more times.
I never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone. I've been lost, I've been found. My cause is not defined. Won't you kiss me?
Next, I am working on the Snuggle tunnels. So for this part, all I'm doing is folding the top piece in half, and the top piece has the batting and the U-Haul sewed around it already. So I just fold that in half and then I sew a straight line all the way down, leaving around a 1 inch inseam, and then I cut off the excess and then I try to straighten out the edges. And I am making 3 Snuggle tunnels, so I'm going to repeat this same process 2 more times. Oh, and also I do try to turn this right side out. So all I do is I stick my hand in the hole and try to pull it the opposite way out, if that makes sense. But I also do that. And again, I'm going to repeat this 2 more times.
I never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone.
Alright, so now I am working on the Piggy lounge. So for this part here, I am just trimming around the edges of the 2 removable pads. So I'm going to repeat that 2 times. And then I'm going to start working on the bottom piece. So for the bottom piece, I already sewed a straight line on the shorter edge. So now what I'm going to do is stick my foam piece, which is the bottom piece. I'm going to stick that along the sewed edge that I sewed earlier, making sure that this piece of foam is on the inside. And then I'm going to flip over the other piece to make sure it covers the foam, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to sew a straight line all the way around except for the side I already sewed. And I'm going to repeat the same process with the top piece. The only difference is it's just a bigger piece, but it's the same exact thing.
And left alone, I've been lost, I've been found. My cause is not defined. Won't you kiss me? Won't you play? Won't you draw me? Ain't no way I could deny you, I could stray. Won't you kiss me? Ain't no way. Won't you?
So now I am working on the cube, the flannel cube. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to cut around the edges of the 2 removable potty pads. And then I'm going to start working on the other pieces, the pieces that have the foam inside of them. So with those pieces, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a wavy stitch on each edge, leaving around a 2-inch inseam. And I'm going to repeat this same process to all 6 sides.
I never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone. I've been lost, I've been fine. My cause is.
And also, once I'm done adding the wavy stitch in the side, I am going to trim around the edges just to straighten it out. And I'm going to do that also with all 6 sides.
I could deny you, I could stray. Will you kiss me? Ain't no way. I never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone. I've been lost, I've been found. My cause is not defined. Won't you kiss me? Won't you play? Won't you draw me? Ain't no way I could deny you, I could stray. Won't you kiss me? Try me now. I never left.
working on the foam tunnels. So for this part, all I'm doing is trimming around the edges. So here I'm trimming around the edges of the 2 removable potty pads. I'm going to do that for both pads. And then I'm going to trim around the edges of the top piece, just like I did with the potty pads. And then I'm going to work on the bottom of the tunnel where I just trim around the edges of the bottom piece, just like I did before, like with the top piece here, as you can see.
It's not defined. Won't you kiss me? Won't you play? Won't you try me? Ain't no way I could deny you. I could stray. Won't you kiss me? Ain't no way. Won't you? Come and try me now. So
Alright, so now I am working on the Guinea Pig Home. So for this part here, all I'm doing is trimming around the edges of the 2 removable potty pads. I'm doing that to both potty pads. And then I'm going to start working on the back of the Piggy Home. So for the back of the Piggy Home, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew a wavy stitch straight down the middle going vertically. And then I'm going to sew another wavy stitch going straight down the middle but horizontally. After I'm done sewing the seams in the middle, I am going to trim around the edges just to straighten it out.
I never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone. I've been lost, I've been fine. My cause is not defined.
Now I'm working on the front of the Piggy Home, which is where the opening is going to be. So here all I do is I sew a wavy stitch all around the opening, trying to get the stitch in the middle, if that makes sense. So I leave around a 1-inch inseam all around this item. And then after that, all I do is I trim around the edges to straighten it out. For the bottom of the Piggy Home, I am going to be adding 6 seams all together. So for this part, I'm adding 3 seams that go horizontally and then 3 seams that go vertically. And each of these seams are going to measure around 2 inches apart from each other. And after when I'm done sewing the seams, I am going to trim around the edges just to straighten it out.
Left alone in my car. I never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone. I've been lost, I've been fine. My cause is not defined. Won't you kiss me? Won't you play? Won't you try me? Ain't no way I could deny you. I could stray. Won't you kiss me?
So for the top part of the Piggy Home, I am going to be adding 3 seams that are going long ways and then 6 seams that are going along the short edge, if that makes sense. And then again, I'm going to be using the wavy stitch, and then once I'm done adding these seams, I'm going to trim all the way around it to straighten out the edges. Alright, so now I am working on the hooded houses. So for this part, I am going to trim around both of the potty pads, and then I'm going to work on the outside of the hooded house. So for the outside of the hooded house, I'm going to add a wavy stitch on both of the curved edges, leaving around a 2-inch inseam from the foam. And I am making 2 hooded houses, so I'm going to repeat this same step one more time.
I could deny you, I could strive, or you kiss me in a way. Want you, come and try me now, so come and try me now. I was never left alone. I never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone.
Now I am moving on to the Cuddle Cups. So for the Cuddle Cups, I'm making 4 Cuddle Cups total. So what I'd like to do is trim around the edges of both of the potty pads. And then for the next step, all I'm going to do is start attaching the inside, the bottom to the top piece, and then I'm going to attach the outside, the bottom to the top piece for both pieces. And how I'm going to do this is I'm going to grab my large Wonder clips, and then I'm going to put the top piece onto the bottom piece. And for this part, you do want to make sure the 2 good sides are touching each other. You also want to make sure your opening is facing up. So all I'm doing here is clipping this piece all around, and then I'm going to repeat the same thing for the outside pieces. I'm going to clip all around those too, and I am making 4 Cuddle Cups, so I'm going to be repeating the same process 3 more times.
I never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone. I've been lost, I've been fine. My cause is not defined. Won't you kiss me? Won't you play? Won't you try me? Ain't no way. I could deny you, I could strive. Won't you kiss me? Try me now. I was never left alone. never think, I never know. I'm stuck and left alone.
Alright, so the last thing I'm working on in this video is going to be the corner forest. So for this part, all I'm doing is trimming around the edges, and I am making 2 corner forests, so I'm going to be repeating the same process one more time.
Ain't no way I could deny you, I could stray, or you kiss me. Ain't no way want you, come and try me now, so cool.
Alright, so here's all the items that I sewed or set up for sewing. And in my next video, I'm going to be finishing up the items here, which are the cage liners, some of the fleece foam tunnels, cubes, the couch, the 2x1 fleece forest. So I'm going to be finishing up that stuff in my next video. And also everything that I did use in this video is going to be linked down below in the description. And if you guys do have any questions of how I did anything in this video, go and comment down below and I will try to answer your question. But anyways, if you guys are still liking this series, go ahead and give this video a like. And if you guys do want to see more videos from me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Alright, bye!